Hey, this is Trish, and this is day 6, January the 6th, and I know I said I was going to do sexual health Ask Trish today, but I'm going to have to put that off until tomorrow. Today has just been crazy. I'm sorry. I'm not sick, I'm just waking up. I worked through the night on some projects that I have to get done, had to get done, and stayed up through the night, got my daughter on the school bus this morning, went to bed about 8:30 this morning, got about 5 hours of sleep, and then woke up to an email that kind of has changed a lot of things for me. And so I don't know what's going on with this whole January thing, but January has turned out to have some surprises and some changes already. So here's what's going on. For those of you who don't know, I am a single mom. I work for myself, so I'm self-employed. I went back to school back in fall of 2013, and in November of 2013, I started on the process of running for Congress, and that process went through June of 2014. And so, long story not short, in that process of being self-employed, being a single mom, being a full-time college student, and running for Congress and running my campaign completely by myself. By February, I was working 18 to 20 hours every day, 7 days a week, no day off. And so something had to give. And I had to give up school. I took a leave of absence from school because just trying to keep a roof over my head while running for Congress and taking care of my daughter, who I know felt neglected, it was too much. It was just too much. So I had to give up school, and I did not want to. So I took a leave of absence, and I was coming back in the fall term, and now 2014. It's now 2015. So it was the fall of 2014. And got late going with financial aid and all that stuff. And so this year has not been really good for me in terms of school. And so I was supposed to start classes yesterday because January 5th started the new winter term. They're on the quarter system, which is still confusing to me. But anyway, and so they say I have a hold on my record, which I don't. There was a credit was supposed to be applied, it never was, and so I'm not getting any information about classes, so that was frustrating. So I contact them, and it's like, okay, well, I haven't gotten any information. I know classes start. Sorry. And I was told two things in this email today. Number one, the program I'm in, which is a liberal arts baccalaureate program. This is at Sophia University. The baccalaureate program that I'm in, the liberal arts program, is no longer covered by financial aid, federal financial aid. So if I want to stay in this program, I have to pay for it. Well, that's not happening. I don't have the money to pay for this. That's why I took out loans. Then the other thing that they're telling me is that they may not even let me in the other program, which is a psychology program, which I don't want to do anyway. I deal enough with psychology. I'm a theater person. I'm a writer and a composer and a performer. All of theater is psychology. And I don't want to take a psychology program, certainly not enough to get a degree in psychology. So anyway, if I want to stay with Sophia, I have to go to the psychology program, which I don't want to do. If I want to stay in the liberal arts program, which I love the teachers, and I love the program, I have to pay for it, and that's about 18 grand a year. Well, that can't happen. I can't afford that. So, it was quite the conundrum. Then I remembered something that happened the other night. Because my daughter is also looking at colleges, and she had wanted to go to SCAD, the Savannah College for Art and Design. I think that's the name of it. It's in Georgia. And because she wants to be a video game animator. She wants to make video games for a living when she grows up. And so looking at SCAD costs $38,000 a year, and I've told her, if you don't have full scholarships, you can't go there. We can't afford it, because the max you can get for between Pell Grant and the unsub loans when you're getting your bachelor's, it's about $18,000. But Pell Grant is $5,600 now, something like that, and then the max unsub loans is like $12,500 per year. And so, that only covers $18,000. And so if a school costs $38,000, that's what, $17,000 or $20,000 I have to come up with? I can't do that, Kudos to those parents who can just write checks for their kids' tuitions. That's not me. I can't do that. So anyway, I had heard about this other school called Full Sail University, and the reason why I liked it is not only because it had that graphic design that she was looking for, but it had online classes, which meant that she could stay home for another year or two before having to pay for things like room and board, which is very expensive at universities. And so she didn't want to look into it because she had her heart set on SCAD. The more she looked into SCAD, the more she realized, okay, well, they have graphic design programs, but they don't necessarily have the video game aspect that she wanted. But she still wanted to go to SCAD. And so we were looking at it the other day. She said, we were just talking about it, and she said, well, I said, well, how much does it cost to go to Full Sail? She said, well, I don't know. There's one way to find out. So we got online. We're sitting there and we're looking at, okay, what are the online classes? Because they have a campus in Florida, very close to Disney World. And so she's still in the South, and so she's, still close-ish to home. And so we looked at it. Online classes for a semester, it's like $7,000 something. $7,000. 2 semesters a year, with books and other stuff and fees and whatever, you're looking at $15,000 a year. And we were like, oh, wow. And even Ari was like, oh, my God. Oh, wow, that's a good price. And I was like, yeah, that is a good price. But one of the things that I remember from that moment was that in looking at the things that they offered, music production. And I went, oh, music production, oh my God. I mean, to get a degree in music production, that would be awesome. Because I had looked at Berkeley. I wanted to go to Berkeley School of Music, but they don't accept financial aid. And their courses range at $1,000 a piece, a little more than that, to get their master's certificate, which is not a degree like we think of, but it's Berkeley School of Music. I mean, you're looking at $10,000, $12,000. Again, I don't have that, So I was very sad that I couldn't go to Berkeley School of Music. However, looking at this with the Full Sail music production, I just remember that the other day of thinking, oh my God, a music production, that would be awesome, because I'm a singer and a composer. I write my music. I have to get my music recorded. I vocally record my music. I get other singers to record my music sometimes. And then I, really wanting to get into voiceovers. I've done some kind of voiceover kind of things, but I really want to get into voiceovers. Well, Full Sail has an associate's degree in audio production. But what I'm trying to get to, again, long story not short, what I'm trying to get to is that moment I had when I saw music production. My first thought was, oh my God, I want to do that. Oh, I'm enrolled in Sophia. And so just the idea of it, and I've been thinking about that the past few days. It's like, oh my God, wouldn't that be so awesome to do music production? And I could do it online, because there's a university here, the University of Southern Mississippi in Hattiesburg. It has a campus here on the Gulf Coast, but they still want you to get their big degrees. They want you to come to the big university, in the big campus, which is in Hattiesburg, which is an hour and a half away, and I don't have a car, so I can't do that. So that's why I need a college that's online. And so Full Sail is online. And so January has now brought me this great opportunity in terms of information of, wow, a music production degree, that's amazing. And today I wake up and I find this, that the program I'm in is no longer covered by financial aid, so I can't afford to stay. If I switch to the psychology program, it's in my mind, it's putting myself more in debt for a degree I don't want. Because I don't want to take psychology. I deal with psychology as it is, you know, because of the blogs that I have, because I'm a creative artist. You know, I don't need to take a class regurgitating what? Freud? Ha! Please. Jung, I love him. But I don't need to go $18,000 a year into debt to do that. So the only thing is that if I stay where I am with Sophia, and if I switch the psychology program, you know, on the quarter system, I would be done with my degree by December of 2015. If I just buckle down and get the 4 quarters done, fall, winter, which started yesterday, spring, summer, and fall, I would be done. Maybe into the spring of 2016. But as it is now, if I start with Full Sail, that's assuming they let me, assuming they'll take me, then I won't start there until this September, the fall of 2015, and a 2-year degree puts me at graduating, June of 2017? Yeah. So that's where I am. Annoyed, frustrated, somewhat inspired and happy, and and I don't believe in coincidence. I mean, I don't ever believe in coincidence. I mean, I know things happen for a reason. Sophia's a great school. I love it. I love the teachers. But not having the program that I want, I don't see the point in going into debt for that. I won't do it. And so this opportunity of doing music production or audio production, or they have some other stuff too. That's what really stood out to me was the music production and the audio. But I'm like, God, now I've got to apply for school again. Will they like me? I mean, I don't know. Will they take me? Now I've got to find 2 or 3 people who are, will be willing to write, reference letters for me. Who's going to write a reference letter for me? Huh? So I don't know. It's frustrating. The thing is that there is something about this lifetime where education and I have not meshed. And the thing is that I'm very intelligent and I'm well-read. Both my parents were highly educated. I mean, when I was a kid, we lived at Ole Miss. I remember living across the street from the frat house. I was only 2 to age 7, but I remember the Ole Miss frat house parties. My father has a couple of master's degrees, became a scientist for the government. My mother has her doctorate in higher education. And so, I've always been the black sheep of the family because I've been different. And I just, there's a huge sense of failure because I don't have a college degree. And it's made even worse because in order to be a shift manager at McDonald's, you have to have a college degree. So I'm not even qualified to be a shift manager at McDonald's. Not that I would. McDonald's is evil. But just that idea. I mean, I was looking at various freelance writing jobs. AOL had some technical writing jobs open. Another big companies, online companies, had technical writing positions open. And I'm a freelance writer. I already have 1 magazine. I'm about to launch another magazine. I have plenty of other freelance gigs that I can show, not to mention my own personal activist blog, which is an extensive blog, arousedwomenblog.com. I mean, the requirement is you have to have a bachelor's degree. So all of my experience, all of my knowledge, all of my ability matters not one bit, because I can't even get in the door because I don't have a degree. And when I look at some of the people that have degrees, they're idiots. They are just complete idiots. Believe me, I know. Because of my magazine, Musical Theater Magazine, I have college graduates or soon to be college graduates contacting me quite frequently. They ask me if they can intern, if I have any intern positions, and And so they want to write, blah, blah. And so I asked for writing samples. These people are idiots. Most of them. So far, I've only been able to take one person of all the people who've sent me writing samples. One. And even that, I had to edit quite a bit. These people who actually have degrees in English and have degrees in journalism don't know the basics of grammar and punctuation. And yet, they can apply for all sorts of jobs. And I can't. This is why I'm self-employed. Because I don't have a degree. So I work my ass off on what I do. And it's just frustrating. But it's interesting because when I had my natal chart done back in '96, a friend of mine did it for me. And she was looking at my birth chart, when you were born, the time you were born, the planets in alignment and all of that. And I asked her, because this was back in '96, so I'd only been out of college for like a few years. And not finishing college was just imperceptible, because everybody in my family is well educated and highly successful, except me, because I'm like an artist, the black sheep of the family. And so she said, you will finish, but it'll be much later in life. It's in your chart. It's in your birth chart, your astrology chart. You will finish college, you will get your education, but it will be much later in life. And I thought she was crazy. I'd only been out of school a few years, of course I was going to go back, but life had other options. Life had other things going for me. Actually, no, this was back in '95. Back in '95. And so I cannot believe that here I am, age 42, and literally starting over again with my college education. It's kind of annoying, frankly. But I don't know. So that's where it is. New year. New opportunities and new challenges and new choices that have to be made, And I guess that's the whole point, because you can't make change if you're doing the same old, right? The old definition of insanity. Doing the same old thing but expecting different circumstances. No, it doesn't work that way. So I guess this is going to be, I guess it's already decided. I can't afford the program I want. I'm not taking the program I don't want. There's an opportunity to take a program I really, really want. It'll just take longer for me to accomplish what I want to accomplish. Which seems to be the main theme of my life. I am a starter, not a finisher. That was very hard to accept. Because I work very hard. I work very hard at what I create. But I like the mind candy. I like the beginnings of it. I like the idea of figuring out how it all goes together. I just don't want to be the one to put it together over and over again, It's just like I love doing shows. That's fun. But even that, it gets, you want to move on to something else. You want new mind candy. And so realizing that I'm a starter, not a finisher, I've had to work really hard to finish the things I do finish. Because I got to pay rent. I got to pay rent. I've got to pay bills. I've got a child to feed, who actually wants me to make dinner right now. So I'm going to end this. I certainly did not mean for this to go on this long. But, maybe you're going through similar situations and similar frustrations where literally one door gets slammed in your face and you have to think laterally to see where the next door is. There's that old expression, where God closes a door, he opens a window. Whatever. Sometimes you have to really look for that window because that window's not really obvious, So this was not something that kind of hit me in the face as an opportunity. It was like snuck around as an opportunity. So I don't know. I'm just tired of feeling like a failure because I don't have a college degree, and I'm just tired of it taking so damn long, and I'm tired of the obstacles in the way. So, all right, New Year. Stop being a jerk. I'm kidding. The New Year is not a jerk. It's just, presenting some things that I have to deal with, and dealing with this stuff isn't always pleasant. So, okay. Now I'm signing off. And tomorrow I will do that one, the question, the sexual health question. We'll get that started, I promise. I think. I will start it, but I will finish. I will finish. That's the important lesson for the day, I guess. Is to do what you need to do to finish, but sometimes the answers or the ways to finish isn't as obvious as you thought. Sometimes you have to go laterally rather than straight forward to achieve your goals. So anyway, all right, I'm Trish, and I will see you tomorrow for another episode of Video Every Day in 2015. So take care, and I will see you tomorrow.